So this was a weird report yesterday. So there was a loud boom over DC. Apparently, what had happened was a U.S. Air National Guard jet went supersonic. And if you know, when you go supersonic, you break the sound barrier, it creates a loud boom. And it was like right over DC yesterday. What was really interesting about this, though, is the reporting afterwards. So at first, you see, they were reporting that the Air National Guard was in the process of conducting air defense drills over the Chesapeake Bay, and they were authorized to go supersonic during these drills, but they didn't let anybody know. Like they didn't let anybody know that they were allowed to go supersonic, and so that there might be a loud boom. Now, living on military installations, I which I've done, you hear explosions all the time, so like a loud boom would not probably phase me, but it would if I was living in DC and didn't know what the hell was going on. But then reports started to get a little bit weird from there. Reports started to get really weird because then it said that a Cessna was flying into the area, and it was the Air National Guard was responding, and they had clearance to go supersonic to respond to the Cessna, who was ignoring radio queries and was on a, basically had entered into restricted airspace. And then they reported that the Cessna crashed in Virginia. Like, I don't know what happened here. The conspiracy theorist in me wants to really like dive into this. Okay, so the plane crashed with 5 people on it. That's sad. That's really sad. But what actually happened? Did the plane actually crash? Or did the Air National Guard actually shoot it down because it was in restricted space and it wasn't responding? I don't know. I don't. I question the official reports of what's happening, which will probably get me kicked off YouTube like I do just about every week, but it's all good. Like, I don't know what's going on in YouTube, just so you know. I'm not saying that this is what I believe. Like, I just don't know. It just seems there is something weird happening when they are saying that these jets are moving. The initial reports are that they were conducting, training and were authorized to go supersonic, and which created the boom. And then it's reported that there's a crash in the mountains after the response, but there's no like follow up there. I don't get it. So, I mean, did something happen to the pilot? I mean, the only other thing I can think of is like something happened to the pilot of this plane and it was just like gliding into DC airspace. Was it gliding into DC airspace because the pilot had like a heart attack or something, and one of the other passengers tried to take control, but they didn't know what they were doing because they're not pilots? I don't know. But there's just something really weird about this report. Yeah. So I saw that they were saying that the pilot was unresponsive and wasn't responding to like radio calls and stuff like that. Which, if it got too close to DC, they think they all passed out. That's interesting. So they all passed out and it was just gliding. It turned into a glider and just downed itself. What I mean, maybe the engine bay started leaking like poisonous fumes into the cockpit, and yeah, O2 problems. Ah, man. Cessna isn't hard to pilot. I've done it without training or a license. Yeah, I mean, the Cessna seems like it's an easy plane to fly. I've done it in, like flight simulators and stuff. It's a slow plane, so it's not like you're just like flying at like supersonic speeds, It's just a really, I don't know. I had my questions about it when I heard about it, but it's really sad either way. But